Imagine trying to order lunch in a busy cafeteria, but there's only one cashier. The line stretches out the door, people are grumpy, and your stomach's making protest noises. Now imagine someone opens 5 more cash registers, speeds up the line, and suddenly, bam, everyone's happy. That's exactly what Layer 2 does for blockchain. Hi everyone, my name is Cryptosaur. In this video, we're going to break down what the heck is a Layer 2? Why do we even need one? And how can it make crypto faster, cheaper, and easier to use? And don't worry, we'll explain it using simple examples, real-world analogies, and zero complicated jargon. Let's dive in. Okay, before we talk about Layer 2, let's look at the problem it's trying to fix. Blockchains like Ethereum and Bitcoin are amazing. They let you send money, own digital art, and even play games, all without a middleman. But here's the catch, they're slow. Like, molasses running uphill slow. Bitcoin handles about 7 transactions per second. Ethereum does a little better, around 15. For comparison, Visa can handle over 24,000 per second. So, yeah, we're kinda stuck in crypto rush hour. Why so slow? Because blockchains are super careful. Every transaction has to be checked and confirmed by thousands of computers around the world. It's like a global group project where everyone has to agree before anything gets written down. This makes it very secure, but also painfully slow and expensive. When too many people want to use the network, transaction fees skyrocket. Sometimes it costs more to send a coin than the coin is even worth. Now imagine trying to buy a $3 coffee and paying a $20 fee just to swipe your card. No thanks. That's why developers started thinking, what if we could do most of the work outside the main blockchain and only use it to settle the final result? Kind of like doing your math homework on scratch paper and only writing the final answer on the test sheet. Boom. This idea led to Layer 2. So far, we've learned that big blockchains are slow and pricey because they're doing all the work themselves. And just like a single cashier at lunchtime, they're overwhelmed. But what if we could take some of that pressure off? That's where Layer 2 comes in. Continue will explain exactly how it works and how it makes everything faster and cheaper. Shall we continue? All right, so let's go back to our overcrowded cafeteria analogy. Remember the single cashier with a mile-long line? That's the main blockchain, what we call Layer 1. It's doing everything. Taking orders, making change, swiping cards, it's overwhelmed. Now, imagine someone sets up a side station where people can pre-order their food. This new station takes everyone's orders, bundles them up neatly, and sends just one final list to the main cashier. Suddenly, the line shrinks, people get their food faster, and the cashier is way less stressed. That's Layer 2. Layer 2 is a fancy way of saying, hey, let's do most of the heavy lifting off the main blockchain, then check in when we're done. Here's a simple example. Let's say Alice and Bob are besties who send money to each other every day. Maybe they're roommates splitting rent, food, and way too many late-night snacks. If they used the Ethereum blockchain for every transaction, they'd go broke just on fees. But with a Layer 2 solution like a payment channel, they can create a little tab off-chain. They keep track of who owes what, and only when they're done, maybe at the end of the month, they settle the final balance on-chain. That means instead of 30 individual transactions, the Ethereum network only sees one. Less work, lower fees, faster results. Cool, right? Now, there are different types of Layer 2s. Let's quickly name drop a few. Don't worry, we'll keep it simple. Roll-ups. They bundle up tons of transactions and roll them into one. Think of it like squishing all your receipts into one big summary. State channels. Like the Alice and Bob example, they allow lots of private transactions off-chain, then submit just the final result. Plasma, a framework for building mini blockchains that report back to the main one. Each method has its own strengths. but the goal is the same: take pressure off the main blockchain. It's like building a bunch of express lanes next to a highway. The main road is still there, but now people can zoom past traffic using the side lanes. So now you know, Layer 2 solutions are like shortcuts or express lanes that help blockchains run faster and cheaper. They handle the busy work off-chain and just give the main blockchain the highlights. But how safe is that? And should you actually trust your money with these side lanes? Next, we'll talk about security, real-world examples, and why Layer 2 might be the future of crypto. Ready? Let's go. So, by now you're probably thinking, okay, these Layer 2 things sound pretty slick, but can I trust them? I mean, it's my money we're talking about. Totally fair question. The good news: most Layer 2s are designed with security in mind. Remember, even though the transactions happen off the main blockchain, they still rely on it for security. That's the beauty of it. Let's go back to our earlier analogy, doing your math homework on scratch paper. Imagine you and your teacher agree that you can work on the problems at home, but you still have to turn in your final answers on a secure, official test sheet. The test sheet, Layer 1, is still the source of truth. So even if something goes wrong on your scratch paper, Layer 2, your final answer has to check out. Most Layer 2 solutions include proofs, little cryptographic receipts that say, hey, here's what we did, and you can double-check it's legit. These are sent back to the main blockchain, which acts like the final judge. And because Layer 2s are built to plug into Layer 1, if something ever goes wrong, you can usually exit back to the main chain, like using the emergency exit in case the express lane gets wonky. Pretty reassuring, right? Now let's get real. Why does this matter for you? Well, without Layer 2s, crypto can't go mainstream. Imagine trying to use a blockchain app to send money, play a game, or buy an NFT, and having to wait 20 minutes and pay $40 in gas fees each time. That's not just annoying, it's a deal breaker. Layer 2 makes crypto apps feel more like regular apps: fast, smooth, and affordable. In fact, some of the most popular Ethereum-based platforms today are already using Layer 2. Arbitrum and Optimism are rollup-based solutions used by big DeFi apps. Polygon is like a Layer 2 superhighway. Tons of apps are built on it. Even gaming platforms like Immutable X use Layer 2 to let players trade in-game items instantly, without crazy fees. The crypto world is moving fast, and Layer 2 is a huge part of why. So let's wrap this up. Layer 2 is like building extra lanes next to a jammed-up highway. It helps blockchains move faster, cost less, and actually scale up for real-world use. From tiny transactions to giant DeFi platforms, Layer 2 is unlocking the future of crypto. If you learned something new today, or at least smiled at one of the analogies, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's next, because in our next video, we're how do smart contracts work and why do we need them. Thanks for watching, and remember, crypto doesn't have to be complicated, just layered.